Here we go. We're live. Welcome to Masterpiece Shit Piece Theater, episode 7. We're just a couple of nerds trying to make our way in the world and entertain you while we do it. Tonight we have a special guest, Dakota, also known as Primal Sabbath. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me.
Oh, shit. And look, I've got the show running in the background.
Oh, rookie move there, Nick. Rookie move.
That echo's all your fault, man. This is supposed to be professional.
Yeah, professional my ass.
The interdimensional lizard people trying to ruin this broadcast.
Nice.
That'll get you flagged.
This podcast is coming to you straight from Bohemian Grove. We're undercover.
Excuse me. Can you tell me where all the devil worshippers are?
God damn it! They just can't keep Alex Jones off of YouTube.
Dude, oh my God, they can't. I don't want to sideline it, but he keeps making accounts under General Shepherd. It's the funniest thing ever.
Oh, God, that's cool.
My next account will be under Mark Harmon. A true patriot.
And after that, it'll be Mike Crotch.
Mike Crotch.
Nice. Alrighty.
All right, let's go ahead and get through here with some introductions. Dakota, since you're our guest, go ahead, tell them where you're at.
Man, I'm everywhere at Primal Sabbath. I'm in the Facebook groups as Dakota. You know me.
We do. All right, Josh.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, on Facebook under my regular name, Twitter and Subanur1976, Twitch and Subanur76. Co-host of the All Queued Up podcast with my boy Greg. It publishes every other Friday, and when I'm not feeling like a complete bag of ass and haven't crashed after getting a flu shot, I'm on Off the Runner with Dakota.
Hooray!
Nice.
And then, of course, with you guys every Friday live.
For now, until we're taken off the air.
Until the leftist agenda squashes this bug.
Or you vote me off the island.
Shit.
We're sick of carrying you around. Well, we're
Or
trying to
pushing him,
rum it.
whatever the case may be.
We
Don't
need
worry,
to
baby boy. I'll backpack you around.
We need to organize and get some MREs in here.
That was stick up in this fucking
I call dibs on the beef stew.
Speaking of beef stew,
that's
Rob Milton, where you at?
Oh, you can find me on the good books as Rob Milton. You can find me on Instagram as Rob's Robots when I ever finish putting this house together and have time to do shit again.
It looks built already.
Yeah, what you talking about, man?
I still
You
got to
get that
finish
at
putting
IKEA?
my stuff at pieces. In
You bought the house
places.
in IKEA.
Yeah, right? Dude,
the
it feels like it, man. Shit just keeps fucking breaking.
You're building it wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, every Friday night on here with you beautiful gents, having a good old time and a lot of beer.
That sounds amazing. Russell, the love muscle. Where are you at?
Right, baby. I think you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. If my fucking phone will work and actually let me upload a goddamn video.
Dude, you
and
can't go live in the nude, Russ.
dude, it's like my phone was rejecting.
Don't blame it on your phone. Yeah.
No, Russ's nipples!
I was just gonna.
The problem is the carpets don't match the drapes, so it automatically gets flagged.
That's what it is, man. Telling you. Listen,
You're not fooling anyone.
Yeah, it's wild. He said the carpet.
You entered your size wrong, sir.
Everyone's going to be talking with a rasp for the rest of the night, and I'm so proud I made that happen. I'm so happy I made that happen.
Yeah, here on Friday nights with you gentlemen, and when get better, James. Let's get better soon. Hopefully, we'll have Plastic Fanatics back down the road. But yeah.
Is he recovering from all the alcohol poisoning on vacation?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to our resident hobbit, Sam. What's up?
What's up, guys? I'm on Instagram at Insta_Sam89. Sammy in the Facebook groups and here every Friday night. Thanks for having me. And hey, if you live in the Carolinas, good luck this weekend. Man, be safe.
Oh man, thoughts and prayers for Justin Linnet.
Right?
For real, man. Yeah, that's no joke.
You can also find Sam standing next to the line for any ride that says you must be this tall.
Yeah, looking sad. Looking all
up, dude.
He's being all bummed out. Come on.
Oh man, that's wow.
All right, and I am Masterpiece Shitpiece, also known as Nick Brammer in the Facebook groups. You can find me at Brammer_Nick on Twitter and Masterpiece Shitpiece on Instagram.
You can find them beating people's wives at TFCon.
That's
I have a
fucking right.
I have a very strange boner right now.
Yeah,
I feel like the next thing he should have said was to mix a little bit of eggshell white in with my.
I think Sam just puked in his mouth a little.
Everyone's looking for the recipe for my sweaty balls.
Nice.
All right, guys. First thing we're gonna go through is the first week happened, unfortunately, in our fantasy league.
Unfortunately.
I
told y'all. I mean, it's just a matter of time. I'm going to be.
You know what? Hold on. You barely escaped. I don't even hear no shit.
Barely escaped nothing. You lost to a one-legged man. Suck it up, Buttercup. You lost.
Yeah, you know,
I'm sorry, but you knew it was coming. I told you last week. I said, Russ, have any issues ready to comfort your ass. Now, your ass lost.
If
Don't
I
run about getting
the wrong goddamn defense, I beat
sacks and interceptions. Oh God, I lost. My quarterback had 3 interceptions. One quarterback didn't even play.
Lost points.
I lost a tight end too for the year.
That's true.
That's true. This is part of the game, and trash talk is part of the game. Your ass just could not handle the storm that was brought by the stump.
You know what?
And listen, Sam, you're next.
I'm gonna take a chainsaw to your other fucking leg. Keep going.
That's okay. That's okay. I won't need 2 legs. They'll give me another one. Fuck it. They'll say, you know what? We already gave him one. We'll give him another, and that's okay. Let's say, how'd you lose? Let's say, little butt hurt, little bitch got mad because he had some interceptions.
I love
Sam, I don't care. I do not care that you're only 5'4", Sam, because it's not going to make me feel any amount of sympathy for the ass beating that you're going to take.
Don't worry, Sam.
Just kick him in his leg off.
He'll be just your size. It's all good.
Kick him in his good knee, and he'll be your size. So.
That's
a fair fight.
Yeah, so let's go through the matchups for the first week. First one, the DJD, which is me, scored 117.76 points.
God damn.
To Rob's Rig Jockeys 170.72. So I got my ass kicked
by an auto-generated team.
Yeah.
We're just going to put that out there. I don't know shit about what I'm doing.
He's just like letting it go. He don't care.
Yeah, pretty much.
And believe it or not, that's not the worst ass kicking this week.
It's in God's hands now, Rob.
Yes.
Next, the pre-mentioned game, the Stump Brigade scored 120.94 to Russell Swag Team's 117.72.
Yeah,
Russ, do you want to complain about the scoring some more?
No, you know what? I'm not going to, because you know what? It's fine. I'm still going to kick his ass. I think I got another game against him. I got another matchup against him, right?
You should.
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, you got another scheduled loss against me.
I got a revenge game coming. It's cool.
Let's see. I'm not sure what week it is, but I'll make sure to pencil it in on the calendar.
Yeah, we're gonna go. But I will say this. I just want to say, quarterbacks losing points for sacks is stupid. That's all I'm saying. That's all I know.
Well, they lose interceptions too.
Is there salt? I sent some salt.
This isn't PPR. You're not going to score 200 to 300 points a week.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking depressing. Anyway, but it's all good. It's okay. You know, Anna said, and I was bitching about it. Anna was like, you're just mad because your butt hurts.
Here's our first intergender match.
Ooh.
And
Really? I thought we just covered the first intergender match the way he's been complaining.
Josh said that you're wearing panties, Russ.
Hey, I look at it like this. I love all you guys, but I am going to be talking so much shit. You'll want to vote me off of this show by the end of the season.
We've
We're just
officially
gonna-
figured
we're
out
just
how
gonna
to
be
get Josh to go completely batshit.
Dude,
Oh,
you'll
yeah,
lose.
dude. I've never seen Josh so animated as when
I
we talk
know.
fantasy.
Man,
It's
this is-
fucking great.
I'm excited you,
Yeah,
bro.
it's actually kind of cool. Actually, I'm enjoying it.
my fucking avatar is animated. What the hell?
Fucking great.
All right, next matchup was Kate, my wife, beat Sam 124 to 94.
Nick's got his wife beating people now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Turn the table.
All
Katie
right.
Lane is SmackDown.
Now, the worst beaten this week was unfortunately Misty's Marauders scored 100 points
Mm-hmm.
to Jackie's Pimpin' Ain't Breezy's 164.
That's a great name.
Thank you for not making me the worst loss of the week. I appreciate it. Then we got Anna, who everybody thought was going to be a titan in the league.
I thought she would do a lot better, but she was.
Dude, she scored more points than most of the people that won.
I know, but she was like, God damn. She said she was probably going to lose because she was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. I didn't put up enough. But
So Anna scored 131 to who is what the fuck? That's your wife, Tiff?
Yeah, that's Tiff.
So that's Tiff. What the fuck football? She scored 147.35. So 2 of the 3 top scoring teams were auto drafted.
that's insane.
Oh,
Wow.
shit, man. So, you know what?
Seriously, if we have rest of us,
I know what I'm doing next year.
You still won't know what you're doing next year. Don't kid yourself.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So we'll just do a quick recap on these every week, and if one of the women win the league, they're gonna host the show for a week.
Oh my God.
Oh shit! You're gonna put my wife on camera for a week?
Yeah, why not?
So we'll just.
Here's the thing.
How much you paying? I may have to get in on this.
I mean, they're not going to win.
Well, you're our only hope there, Lou.
Yeah, you're our ringer. Help me, Obi-Wan. You're our only hope.
Yeah.
To like kick your ass next time we meet. Good. Then I'll be the only hope.
Hey, here's the thing. Margins of victory doesn't matter. A win is still a win. And 1-0 is much more attractive than 0-1.
You're absolutely right. You're right. I'd say it was actually pretty good. Yeah, I was.
You led all weekend long
Oh, I know.
until
I
Monday
know.
night.
I was
So.
yeah, I was doing pretty well. That's okay though.
Hell, I thought I was going to like cruise to it though, but I will admit that because Mariota went down and I didn't get a lot of points from him.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with him, by the way? Is he like what happened to him? Did he get? I mean, how bad is he hurt? You know,
He's questionable for this week, so I'm going to be
Aaron
starting.
Rodgers got banged up too, so he came back in, and I know he came back in to play, but man.
And Derek Carr threw 3 interceptions for me, so that sucks. That's 6 points lost.
I got Jared Cook if you want him, Josh.
Yeah, I could have used him because I had Delaney Walker as my starting tight end. He's gone for the season, so I had to pick somebody up. I can't even remember who I picked up now.
You know, you got that nice, attractive motherfucking AJ Green.
Yeah, he did well for me last night. Oh yeah, I picked up Will Dissly from Seattle.
Yeah, that
he
rookie
hell
had
of
a
week 1.
damn good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He was a hot pickup last week. So
Yeah.
also picked up Chris Thompson off of waivers. How he was still on waivers, I have no idea.
Because nobody knows what they're doing.
Well,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think it's because no one was sure about how much he was going to touch the ball. I don't know. I wasn't sure. So,
All right.
But yeah,
but anyway,
that was the weekly fantasy update, huh?
that was Fantasy Corner, brought to you by Nabisco. We like those crackers.
Man, they make Oreos, yo.
You know all about crackers.
Better relax.
Damn right. Almost crackery as they come, man.
All right. Next up, we run there was an event Nintendo hosted. So this is Josh and Rob's little segment here.
Uh-oh.
Here you go, boys.
Well, basically, Nintendo had a direct, which is like their little pressers they release periodically, and they announced a lot of news yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
They held it at 6 p.m. Eastern, and they really built up some more hype for their Switch service, their Switch console itself, and then their Switch online service, and some games that are coming. Rob, what was the thing that excited you the most?
Luigi's Mansion 3, bitches! Oh, God, I can't wait for that game. I want to bust me some goats with a vacuum.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion was a very, very welcome announcement. They are, still bringing some new titles to the 3DS. They announced, which is cool because I love the 3DS.
Dude, me too.
Oh, yeah.
They're bringing Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe to the Switch in January. They're bringing Katamari Damacy to the
Wait, one
Switch.
second. What's the Super Mario Brothers game? What is it? Is it like a side-scrolling platformer?
Yeah, it's back to the side-scrolling.
Oh, so it's like new Super Mario Brothers for the Wii U.
If I'm understanding it right, it's basically just an updated version of the one on the Wii U, but I think they're bringing in co-op play through their online service, aren't they?
It's also going to have the new Super Luigi U on it, packed in with it.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
And so far, just real quick, so far in the chat, we got Walt, and what's up, KJ? We see you. Walter is a stalwart. Thank you for coming in every week. We appreciate it.
Walter, it's my guy.
Go ahead, Josh. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're good. They're bringing a Katamari Damacy remaster.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about that one.
But the big news about their Switch Online service, they did announce that starting September 18th, the Switch Online service goes live. It will support online play, classic NES games with online support, cloud saves for most games, but not all. And it's going to be very affordable. Very affordable. Like, for instance, I have a PS4 and a PS3. I pay $60 a year for PlayStation Plus subscription.
Yeah, same here. I got the Xbox and the PlayStation 3, and it's $60 a year piece.
Yeah, and those are cool and all because you get free games and you keep them, you own them as long as you're a subscriber. Well, hold on a moment here. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Didn't want to cough in everything. Well, with the Switch service, it's $4 a month, $8 for 3 months, or $20 for a year subscription.
Dude, that's cool.
They're going to have a family plan available, and while you don't own the games that they have available, you can play them through the month. And I think they're going to have a rotating game of what classic games they're going to have loaded each month. But for $20 a month, that's not bad.
Dude, that's not bad at all.
That's $20 a year.
Yeah, that's $20
right.
Yeah, $20 a year. I'm sorry, I did say 20 a month. My mistake.
That's good. So
it's like in comparison, PlayStation Live, which is like Sony's online rental subscription service, is like $20 a month versus this.
Now, do you think they're pricing it that way to? I mean, because let's be honest, Xbox and PlayStation are kind of the big ones. Do you think they're pricing it that way to try to maybe get people to jump over to the Switch?
Yeah, but a lot of things with Nintendo, usually they stick pretty hard to their price points. So if they bring it out,
they do.
There.
I got you.
They do.
I'm an Xbox guy, and it was funny. I saw a meme earlier, and it was like a stick figure poking the Xbox with a stick. It was like, come on, do something.
Yep.
PlayStation was announced something recently, and then Nintendo announced that.
PlayStation got Spider-Man. That was the big thing.
Yeah. PlayStation got Spider-Man. If I wasn't saving up for a really big ticket item right now, I would have gone out because I got the money right now. I would have gone out and got a PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
bought
Dakota.
Spider-Man.
I'm in the same boat, man. I'm like really close.
Yeah,
That
dude.
game was so cool, but
So
I need to be able to play our PS4 because the kids have completely kifed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Walt has a question in the chat. Can the Switch be modded like the Wii U and the Wii were?
Not yet.
Not yet.
somebody will figure it out.
Yeah, because I was figuring with the fucking SD card shit that you probably could.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know you can switch out the SD card and things like that, but
switch them out. I see what you did there.
I'm telling you guys, I thought the God of War game was gonna be game of the year. I think that Spider-Man game is gonna win game of the year. The game of the year this year. I do.
Man.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, just wait.
But that Spider-Man game is unreal, dude.
Red Dead's a cross-platform game. I think he's more referring to the PlayStation exclusive.
That thing's gonna get. I don't know. I think it's gonna.
I wish Sony would do with Spider-Man like kind of how what they've done with Destiny is where like, okay, give PlayStation people like a year to play it all to themselves and like let us Xbox people play some, pay some money for it. Dude, I'd play the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was actually done by Sony Direct Studio, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's Sony, so I don't see that as being likely.
Dude, like Xbox, like Microsoft needs any bone that can be thrown to them. Like all of their, like the only one of like their properties that's actually kind of doing anything is Forza, and that's not saying a whole lot.
No.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people who, when they go multi-platform, they go straight to Xbox just because of the smoother interface and ease of use and shit.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
You can say, the PS4 interface is pretty smooth compared to what the PS3 and the PS2.
Yeah, I definitely is.
Dude, the PS3 was a nightmare.
It's better.
I'm playing PS3 right now. Trust me, PS4 is way better.
I had to set up Netflix on my stepdad's PS3, and I was just like, how the fuck do you get to the menu? Like, I was like, where's my guide button? He was like, what's that?
I'm kicking a PS3 under my desk right now.
Listen, just because the console hurt you doesn't mean you need to hurt it.
Yes, it does.
Show us on the stump puppet where the console hurt you.
I actually heard that PlayStation 3 was a globalist puppet. So I don't know that. That's what I heard.
It was designed by the lizard people.
Yeah.
I'm just,
That's where
I heard it was a crisis actor.
That's why we keep all the Sony stuff on the floor level where the dogs can pee on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Right, here goes Rob.
I decided I wasn't going to buy any more Microsoft products after I went through 360s.
Holy shit, man! Really?
Dude, my launch 360 lasted until 2 years ago, and I played the.
Damn, man.
I have a Halo 3, like so early 360. I can still turn on right now. Granted, it sounds like a fucking lawnmower, but it'll still like turn on and do everything it needs to do.
Yeah, guys. Nick didn't mention that he puked on his too, so he doesn't remember. He told me about it in a hangout.
Nick got drunk one night and was like, "Where's the pecker hole in this thing?"
Wow. I had more PS3s yellow.
We're very pro PlayStation in my household, but I will tell you, I've a couple times I've played the Xbox, I've enjoyed it. So I mean, it's not horrible. I like it. I don't hate it, really.
I'm not a loyalist, but I only own the PlayStations. Well, I actually have a Wii as well and an old GameCube. Yeah. I want to Switch. I don't want an Xbox, but because the type of games I play are more exclusive and accessible to Sony and Nintendo versus Xbox. Honestly, Xbox does not have a lot of RPGs.
Yeah, if Halo Infinite turns out to be the last Halo, then I'll be happy. I'll happily make that switch. That's the only thing keeping me on Xbox because that's the only thing I've been playing since I was 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
See, our house is split. Like my wife and kids. Well, Ian likes the Xbox better. The way my wife and daughter like the PlayStation, and I'm an Xbox guy just because I've been invested in Xbox since the original one.
Yeah.
So we wind up buying all of them eventually anyway.
Well, it's
Yeah.
funny, like, as a kid,
my son has a Switch he bought, so
Yeah, we're big Nintendo fans, but we still I need to get the Switch.
I had the PlayStation, the PlayStation 2. I had a GameCube and the Xbox, and like and I had a Super Nintendo too, but like Nintendo like very quickly made its way out the door. And like whenever it came time to like PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, it was like, okay, Xbox 360. Like no question.
I think the biggest Nintendo holdouts and the ones really supporting the market are the guys like me who grew up with it. Like I had an NES at launch, I had a Super Nintendo at launch, N64, all of that. I grew up on Nintendo consoles.
I mean, I'm in a similar case, Rob, but for me, it was like I like went through Sega and everything, and then eventually I got back in at the PlayStation, and then I was an Xbox dude for a while, and then like within the past year, I got my son a Nintendo DS.
Oh, dude,
I was like, shit, man,
handheld.
that looks fun. And then like, of course, I was like, I got to get me one too. And so like we've been playing those, and like we both got a 3DS now, and I'm very close to getting a Switch, man, because he's all about Nintendo. So,
dude, when it comes to handheld, we're the same way with the handhelds. Like I grew up on the NES or the Game Boy. My brother had the Game Gear, but I've had every handheld Nintendo's put out. Like we've got probably 8 3DSs in this house right now between regulars and XLs.
You had to put like 30,000 batteries in the Game Gear.
Right.
That's something that sucked about that.
I found out a hack for that. We had a Model 2 Genesis. The adapter is exactly the same for that it is for the.
Okay, I might get a Game Gear knowing that, because
they're cheap and they're cheap to collect for too.
Yeah, because I like the Game Gear was like ahead of its time, man.
Yeah.
Like it really was like a little Sega, and like it had a backlit screen and
backlit color screen.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go down that route too, take a look at the Atari Lynx too. The Atari Lynx has some good shit. But the Game Gear, you can get a good Game Gear for like $20, and you just the games are cheap.
Yeah, and like my son, he's like all about Sonic, so I'm like, I might
somewhere out there a PC purist is just like scratching his eyes.
What about my ability to update my graphics chip?
Yeah, one of my students was saying how he was like a PC dude, and I was like, why, man?
Relax, PC guys.
He's like, why, man?
We get it. You're edgy. Like,
that's all.
I play PC games too, but I just play what I want. I'm not I don't handicap myself just to one fucking thing.
So we collect retro. We video games in general, but we are big retro family. Like my kids will pick up the damn Super Nintendo before they pick up the new PlayStation stuff.
Yeah. Dude, if there wouldn't have been a sale on the Xbox One and it was like a Xbox One 42-inch TV combo bundle, I think back in like 2015, then like I wouldn't even have a one yet. I would just be like, fuck it.
Dude, hey, Dakota. So we had a 360 for a while, and then this last year I bought an Xbox One, and in 6 months I think I played it 2 times and sold it.
Dude, you want to laugh? My Xbox.
Like everything we played is on a 360.
Yeah. I got my Xbox One a month after launch. I went into I know the guys that own Gaming Generations up here.
Yeah.
And the manager was in the store, and I was talking to him. He was looking for a new laptop, and I had just upgraded my shit, and I had my 2010 MacBook Pro, and I was throwing it up on Craigslist for I think like $250, $300 or some shit. So he's like, dude, I'll trade you. He goes, you want an Xbox One? I'll give you the Xbox One, an extra controller, and 2 games, your choice.
Damn, dude, there you go.
Done.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all. I never hop on consoles like as they release, because like I know they always put them out with bugs, and it's like nothing's really like polished on them just yet. I always like to wait, but like that, like I think that was like Best Buy had a deal on that, and it's like after that moment I started buying nothing but high priced like big ticket collection pieces.
Yeah,
and I just haven't slowed down since then to be able to. Between like buying, like going to, like redoing all of the way, because I was a bookshelf guy, now I'm a DTOF guy. So between doing that and then, going to shows, like going to cons and things like that like, I'm sure if I just didn't go to any cons next year, I'd have like a PlayStation 4, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, for us, if My wife's a big, like a huge video game nut. She's the big collector for that. If I sacrifice that for my toys, she might divorce me. So
She'd kill you and eat you.
probably. She is German.
Well,
A little bit of Rob Wiener
I saw an NES Classic in my Walmart, dude.
Yeah, they're all like our GameStops have stacks of them things.
Yeah,
right now.
remember how you
Remember when
couldn't
they were
find the fucking
$800?
things a year ago?
Yeah. There's guys on Craigslist here in town advertising them for like $400. I'm like,
yeah, it's pretty insane.
A lot
What
of
they were going
people.
for.
I
A
wish I
lot
would
of
have hopped in
people
on that
have
because
been-
like that shit was like that in my area. Like people in this portion of Louisiana, they're just like, we don't care about none of that.
dude, the Wii did that shit too, though. Ever since the Wii, it's been. Well, the Wii U didn't, but the Wii did. Dude, I got punched in the stomach for our Wii.
What?
Holy
You
shit.
got
I was
punched
running
in the-
about.
What?
When the Wii came out, my wife wanted one really bad, and they were unobtainium. I was delivering to a Walmart store in Sturgeon Bay, which is way up in the UP in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, at 8 in the morning, and she was just putting 2 of them out on the shelf. I grabbed one, bought a couple of games, the Pro controller, whatever they call it, the classic controller, and I'm walking out of the store with it, and the guy walking in goes, "There any more of those left?" I'm like, "No, man, I grabbed this one, and a guy behind me grabbed the other one." "You motherfucker!" And he whacked me right in the stomach, fucking drilled me,
Dude.
and tried to grab the bag and run off.
If you would have been down here, you'd have had your piece on you.
You know what? Up here,
I absolutely pulled my iron out on that guy. Like no
Can't-
question.
can't do it at work. We can't carry at work.
I'm not supposed to.
No, we can't. But it's still. I don't know. I gave
Tell
him a kick
tell
in
your
the
boss,
sack.
be like, have you ever seen Fast and the Furious, the first one? My life is in danger all the time.
Y'all
I'll
are
run
right.
them.
You
No,
guys
he
are
knows me.
stealing
I just run them.
VCRs.
I'll run them sons of bitches over.
Word.
Oh, look, brakes.
Speed bump.
All right. So one of the other things that was announced, getting back on track here.
Wow,
The
we went
Switch
off rails.
has-
How
Yeah,
professional.
That's okay.
Anyway,
The Switch is getting NES-styled controllers that are wireless and actually connect and recharge to the Switch itself, like the Joy-Cons.
Yes.
That's gonna be.
Those are going to be kind of exclusive. They're going to be $60. They're only going to be available to people with paid Nintendo Online service accounts. They
Well, that's-
haven't released date out yet, but they look pretty cool.
And that's $60 for the pair.
$60
that's
for the
cool.
pair, just like a pair of
That's a
Joy-Cons.
damn good deal.
Yeah.
so it's legitimately going to be like an old school NES controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Original.
looks exactly like it, with the exception of the buttons on the top where it slides in onto the Switch. So it's modified, but it looks just like the old school NES
I wonder
controller.
if they're as strong as the old school ones, because like those were controllers I could throw. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Man,
Xbox
that's
controllers-
one thing about Nintendo. Their hardware is durable.
Yeah,
Dakota
I
rates his
like
shit
that.
by how
Dude.
Dakota, the Wii U
Bro.
gamepad withstands my 5-year-old.
Look, like I'm not the most athletic guy, but I'm sure I could throw a pretty mean fastball. And that's like the force I put behind these controllers whenever I start video game raging. So that's I need to know it can withstand that.
I had a NES Advantage, so if I threw that thing, it was going through a wall.
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's heavy, dude. It was,
You see, you
Damn.
laugh, but
Yeah, I loved that. I had that joystick, the NES Advantage. I loved it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I still love my dude. That's the only way to play like Mega Man and shit in my house now.
Fucking turbo fireballs. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, I did throw that at my sister's head and it required
Jesus
stitches.
Oh my
Jesus
god.
God. Jeez, Rob.
And y'all talk about
See?
me, wife.
You're violent. You're
That's
violent.
funny though, but
This happened last summer, guys. He didn't
Oh.
tell you about it.
Hell, last week. But some other big announcements. They are bringing Final Fantasy to the Switch. They're bringing World of Final Fantasy.
Yes.
They're bringing
the very first Final Fantasy.
No, not the first one. Some of the more current ones and classic ones though. They are bringing World of Final Fantasy out on November 6th. They are bringing the HD remaster of Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age, early 2019, and also remasters of 10 and 10.2 and 9, and also 7.
Oh,
no mention of 8.
Yeah.
So 8 got no love.
7, I'm cool.
Now, see, here's what I'm wondering: if that HD remaster of X and X2 is going to be the same one that was on the Vita. Because if it is, it's a really dope port. Like it looks awesome.
It's probably going to be very, very similar.
Yeah. I'm just happy that.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm just happy Final Fantasy's back where it belongs on the Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy belongs to everyone. It can be on any platform.
Okay. I will agree with that. But Nintendo first.
It started on the Nintendo, and then when the whole ugly divorce between Sony and Nintendo that led to the creation of the PlayStation, and that's why we got Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation.
That was my intro to it.
Yeah.
My daughter is
the original on the NES. So, what was that, Russ?
Oh, my daughter's a big Final Fantasy fan. She doesn't really she hates retro games. She's like, this is old, but she'll actually play old Final Fantasy games. It's one of the few old school stuff she'll play.
Hell yeah.
Likes it so much, but she's really, really a big fan of it. Yeah. Oh, damn. She's into it way more than I was. I'll tell you that.
Yep. Hey, Josh, just off topic, that Hyperkin Superboy you posted?
Yeah, I was going to mention that here in just a minute.
I'll tell you all about it.
Oh, okay. But just one more big announcement. They did announce an Animal Crossing coming to the Switch in 2019, which really, yeah, that's the thing.
What,
dude, if
is
you
that the
ever
one
want
where
a game that will consume your life,
you play as like a little animal and you build a house or some such? Was
more or less.
That was?
You're not an animal, but everybody in the town around you is an animal.
Okay.
They're actually addictive as shit.
Oh no, yeah, I played it. I played it on the GameCube way back. So
that game will consume you.
I love the Animal Crossing games, so I absolutely. With these announcements, I hadn't gotten the Switch yet because I've been like, well, I'm going to wait until they get some more titles. Now that they've got some more titles out there, things I want to play, one of the things that I really want to play is Octopath Traveler from Square Enix because I love RPGs, and it's a very, very reminiscent of the SNES era RPGs.
Yeah. And it's Squeenix, so you know it's going to be a dope game.
Yeah.
You call it Squeenix?
Yeah, a lot of people call it Squeenix. A lot of people shorten it to Squeenix, yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah,
that's breaking on our front.
It's a liberal conspiracy.
Yeah, I think this is what y'all call it. Y'all think everyone does. Fuck.
Squeenix was a term that originated in the Bohemian Grove.
They actually, that was one of their passwords for pizza game.
Squeenix is the sound your old lady was making when I had her bent over last night.
Baby.
I'll have you know we're going through
Russ,
a very
tell Anna to remember
divorce.
that one for me, okay?
Oh yeah, I will, stud.
Squeenix is the nickname for my Peter.
But yeah, that was the highlights coming out of the Nintendo Direct yesterday. A lot of big announcements. I absolutely have been wanting a Switch, and now I'm definitely going to get one. I just don't know when. It's not going to be before TFCon and the 2018 iRock meetup, that's for sure. Maybe by Christmas, who knows?
I've got a Switch, and I'll tell you, man, Zelda is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dude, I'm excited for the. I'm excited for the new Metroid games that have been announced.
Yes. Have you played the Metroid that they Samus Returns on the 3DS?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, it's so good.
It is good.
Stuck on it right now.
It's great.
I refuse to use tutorials or any kind of looking anything up. A Metroid game I have to play on my own.
Man, I haven't played a Metroid game since like Super Metroid.
I played one on the GameCube.
That was a
and
good game.
I couldn't
liked
get behind
Metroid.
it.
The
Super
Prime
Metroid
series
was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Prime series, I still love the Prime series, but going back to that 2D Metroid, oh my god, so good. I'm excited for 4 because I think 4 is supposed to be. It's going back to Metroid Prime, isn't it?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That thing I posted in the chat, though, that Hyperkin Superboy portable.
Yeah.
That is a new version. That it's a handheld system, 4.3-inch screen, plays all NTSC and PAL region Super NES and Super Famicom carts, and it has HDMI hookup to the TV.
Yeah.
It has 2 ports for Super NES controllers on the thing, and it's $72 right now on Amazon Prime.
I have the
Here,
original.
just so everybody can see, I'll go ahead and share it.
Yeah, I have the old version of this one. What the hell? Oh, there was some ugly guy on the TV. No. I have the
He
older
called the
version.
monitor a TV.
Yeah.
You guys see it?
That's a little off the runner meta joke. I'm glad you Josh and I can really appreciate.
I've got the last version of this one.
Yeah.
It struggles a little bit with PAL. It does play them. The one thing I can tell you with these, unless they've updated something on it, even with because I updated the firmware on mine every time they've launched a new firmware update, it still struggles with a couple of the Super FX games.
I do believe this has been improved. I didn't read everything about it, but I can only imagine that it has improved a little bit in that regard.
I would hope. Yeah, it was a software issue. I know that because they talked about it with the HyperKit stuff. That said, it is awesome. It is a great little system.
But can you show me the documents?
Yeah, right there. See them?
Yeah,
there's your specs.
I played Earthbound through on this thing. I've played all like what was it, Chrono Trigger.
Oh god, there's a classic.
And it plays so well. The Mario RPG plays, and Mario RPG is a hard one to get to run on these emulated systems. And it plays it just fine. It's only a couple it struggled with F-Zero. I was getting frame drop with it, and Donkey Kong Country. I was getting some frame drop on Donkey Kong Country. But I think this one's got a faster processor and shit in it too. So
dude, on the Wii U, I bought Donkey Kong Country on the fucking virtual console.
Yeah,
it freezes up really bad. I have no idea why. No other game does it for me, but fucking Donkey Kong Country, if you die, it just fucking freezes.
It's something to do with the coding for that Super FX chip that they use, and it's hard to emulate it. They've been struggling with the emulator software for years trying to get that to work right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like you're trying to emulate a second graphics processor is what you're trying to do with it.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
If it's okay with the panel, I was gonna move on.
Yeah, we
we kind of killed it.
We had a lot of video game talk there. Preceded by a lot of trash talk.
Yeah. I wanted to move on to the Henry Cavill rumors. Supposedly, Henry Cavill is out as Superman. And then Sony came back and said, not Sony, Warner Brothers came back and said, no, he isn't out yet. We're working on things. Then he posted on his Instagram playing with the Superman figure.
I saw that. I saw that it's posted on Instagram.
He had like a Krypton shirt on too.
How funny would it be if that was like a part 1 of 2, And then like another video he posts like in a week or two is just him playing with a Marvel figure. I don't know who he would be. But,
Dude, that'd be cool. He could be anybody.
Well, he's
dude, I would love to see. Like, I know it's not gonna happen. And I know, like, I think the last time we talked about it, Nick, you know, it's a universal thing. But I'd love to see that dude as Namor. I think he'd be
Oh
a good
my
Namor.
god, that
Yeah.
would be cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Jacked, man.
He's gonna be was it Geralt in Witcher, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing. He's playing the title
Man,
character from the
he had-
Witcher series games.
Dakota.
he's in consideration for Bond too. After
Oh,
this
that-
last Daniel Craig movie.
Yeah, and that's
I
like,
could get behind
good.
that.
I would, I'd give that a watch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially after seeing him in Man from Uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nobody knows what's going on because it's just basically smoke and mirrors. Either he's in as Superman or he's
Great
out.
song, by the way, Smoke and Mirrors.
Mhm.
Check it out.
Oh,
99 cents on
What's up,
iTunes.
Bobby
Shout out
Skullface?
to
You
Bob.
probably don't watch this, but we love you.
they, like I think that day that all that came out, Warner Brothers was like, you know, we have a great relationship, or no, his like agent or someone was like, we have a great relationship. Like, expect a announcement from Warner Brothers by the end of the day. But then, like, I don't think it ever came, as far as I know.
No, the question is where did that-
all Warner Brothers said was that like he's not out as Superman.
Yeah. Well, does anybody know where that rumor started?
I just saw it first on CBR.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was like, what was that, Wednesday? And it was like all over the
Wednesday
fucking-
morning or Tuesday, one or the other.
And
that
then the rumors started coming that Michael B. Jordan was going to be the next Superman.
And see,
No, just
I think that's all bullshit. Like, I don't.
Like if they're gonna do John Henry Irons, cool. You know, whatever. I don't
I
think
feel
he's
like-
the best choice. I don't think he's even the best choice for him. But
I don't feel like Michael B. Jordan would take a step down from where, you know, the kind of high he's just coming off of right now from Killmonger. You know, like he was like, finally I'm part of the good Marvel universe. Like, I don't like I would argue that being part of the DCEU would be a step down from even like Fox's Fantastic Four.
dude, it'd even be a step down from Creed.
Yeah.
There was an Oscar
that's-
talk for
that's
him
what-
for Creed.
No, and that movie was fucking awesome, man. And he
Yeah.
was good in that movie. And they got the new one coming out this in 2019. And like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see that shit opening night. Like, I'm a huge Rocky fan.
Yeah,
And I
dude,
think
it's
like
Drago's
those movies
son
just,
versus him. Come on,
like those movies, like they just continue to be really good.
yeah.
so-
What's up, Russ? You were
No, I was saying you guys sound like you're really hating on the DCU. Holy shit!
Oh yeah,
dude.
It's not that I hate it. I'm just disappointed in it. Like I've always been more of a Marvel fan anyway, so there is that there. But like growing up, I watched Batman the animated series just
Which
as
is a
much as I
great-
watched X-Men.
Yep.
Like those were my those two and Beast Wars. Those were my three shows, man. Like I never missed them. I would fight you. I would, you know, bite and claw and scratch you to make sure I watch those shows. Like everyone in the house, shut the fuck up. I'm watching my cartoons. You know, so
Dakota, you don't know how much of a parent you just sounded like, because that's what we tell our kids.
yeah.
I'm not
shut
angry
up,
with
Daddy's
you.
watching cartoons.
I'm not angry with you. I'm just disappointed.
Nick, I'm gonna tell you this once. Don't you
Nice.
ever curse me like that. Don't you ever curse me like that in front of our
Thank
family.
Put them evil on.
Hey, Dakota, I'm just saying, they can't get pregnant in the butt.
Shut up, Josh. That's where do you know that's where the devil's doorbell is?
Ring it, motherfucker. Ring the shit out of it.
No, sir.
Dakota, you can't make mud babies. So I mean, come on.
Yeah, man. Like you just wrap that shit up. You don't make them either, or take her to the clinic a month after when she misses. Like it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Not rep. Yeah.
so
Oh shit, dude!
Oh, God.
That's awesome.
I've got a question for y'all. Since there's these rumors about Henry Cavill not returning as Superman, and no matter what Warner Brothers and he say, I mean, it came from somewhere.
Yep.
So, if you were gonna recast Superman, how would you do it?
Oh,
That's tough, man.
yeah. There's not a whole lot of Superman types out there. You know, I think I'd have to look for a no name, like you know, like that, like how they got Thor.
Yeah.
You know, he was just a no name dude. I think that's how I would.
I think
would go about it.
Henry Cavill, like it's hard because like that dude, like I imagine Superman being just like built like a brick shit house, and Henry Cavill was, and it's like they got the dude who's playing Shazam, like he's got like the muscle suit and everything, but like the dude, like it just doesn't look right because
shoulders look bad on that.
Here's
Who was the dude from Smallville? Who was the guy from Smallville?
Tom Welling.
I'd see if he wanted to do it. Honestly, like,
dude, he chunked up. Have you seen him on Lucifer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's chunked up, man. He's
Dude,
he's kind of in
Affleck-
our status almost. Dakota.
Affleck was a chunky monkey, and he put the Batman suit on him.
Better Superman than Batman.
Hey, it's because they covered up his neck with that mask. So like the dude who's playing Shazam, the reason why it doesn't look right is because like he's got a weak ass looking neck. Like that's what for real. Like that. Like think about it. Like that's what makes you look jacked or not.
Dude, if I ever see that guy, I'm like, you got a weak ass neck.
And dude, karate chop him in his neck and he'll fall over. Like Henry.
Yeah, he doesn't have those Brock Lesnar or Bill Goldberg traps to go with those shoulders.
And you know what it is? And Nick Brammer, you know this. It's a wrestler thing, like an amateur college wrestler. They all got that thick ass neck,
big ass traps.
There was a dude that was trying to get me to sign up for the National Guard. He was like, "Damn boy, I like that neck." It was a deal. I was like, "I'm not joining the National Guard, but thank you for the neck compliment."
He said, I want to kiss that neck.
You say that.
I like that neck.
He can get to that neck from behind when he.
If he starts telling you he likes that mouth.
Don't blow up.
I mean, he was like I was taking like at the time for my job I was taking an unarmed guard class, and so like he was the guy that was giving the class, and like we'd all go out for smoke breaks, and he's like, "Man, boy, you know how big your neck is?" I was like, "What the fuck kind of question is that?" And he was just like, "Nothing. You just got a really well built neck."
You got
some paper on that.
Dude, honestly,
nice
like,
neck, boy.
I left that like guard class that day with like a little bit of pep in my step. I was like, "Hey, ladies, I got a thick ass neck." And
wait a sec. He actually said you have a well-built neck. How in the fuck are they building necks down there in the swamp, man?
Dude, it's dude. Look, it's all them crawfish, man. Just
they're all just
neck strings,
esophagus.
let me tell you, you got a really nice built neck and some silky hair. I like that,
dude. You like my plastic Jesus hair?
Dude, you could play fucking Koresh in the next movie.
No,
you can play with it, but you can't come in it.
Holy shit!
That
Waco starring Dakota.
I just want to know you caught smashed.
we're gonna start calling Dakota Buddy Christ.
Buddy Christ.
Buddy
All right,
Christ.
so who would you guys think about casting as Superman?
I'd go with a no name.
No name?
I'd go with a total no name, undiscovered talent.
Now, my idea is somebody that recently said they wanted to play Batman.
John Hamm. Dude, okay, yeah, I'm stealing yours, Nick, because I think he just looks the part.
Yeah, definitely. And I think his mannerisms fit Superman a lot more than they would Batman.
Dude, yeah, that's why when he was like expressing interest in that, I'm like, to me, he's not a Batman, but I think he would be a cool Superman. He's got that big, just fucking square jaw, you know.
And the other one that I was thinking of, because we know his brother can put on fucking weight and is already Thor, is Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the jaw for it. He's got a
That's the thing. I don't think he's got the jaw for it, but I don't think he has the face for it. If that makes any sense at all.
He's got maybe something about his nose.
It's man, he just looks like a swirly motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like something. It's like just something. Just kind of squirrely. I don't know, man. It's weird, but I don't. He don't have a Superman. He doesn't have a stern like stoic face.
I hear you on that.
It's so hard to cast fucking Superman,
especially when in what the problem is that we're coming after what to me was the perfect Superman. So like it's hard. Like after we got that, we're like shit. It's like recasting the Joker after the Dark Knight. It's and
like that's another like I've never really like I I was born in the '90s. I don't give a fuck about Christopher Reeve Superman.
Shut your mouth.
The dude that played
Superman.
We will not take slander on Christopher Reeve on this show.
Right? Yeah, what you just said is like I want to burn you alive.
Look, man, if he has a problem with it, he can get out of that chair and fight me.
But, he's dead, Dakota.
He's dead, Dakota. Shame on you.
He died for your sins.
For your sins, Dakota.
He was an atheist, but
Dakota, you have insulted the baby Jesus.
Let me follow that because the guy that played it, what was that movie? Didn't that movie come out 2003, 2002?
The
Superman Returns. I did not care for that shit either. Like I was just like, this isn't good either. Yeah, so but Henry Cavill, man, like he's good, dude. Like well, I would love to see him. I'd love to see him on Team Marvel. Like I said, I'd love to see that guy's name more. But
he's good for a modern Superman.
Here's one that Henry Cavill could play for fucking Marvel would be Warlock.
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
Dude, that would be dope.
Dude,
we should see him because I mean they fucking teased it with the Cocoon.
They teased him, and like I don't want to get too off into another tangent, but like James Gunn said that Warlock was planned for Guardians 3, but like now that James Gunn isn't there, and there's like they're not sure what they're gonna do with that script or whatever. Do you like? Like what are we gonna see from that, man? Like I was getting super excited. I figured Warlock would have popped up in Avengers 4, but supposedly Gunn was like, no, I have him in pocket for Guardians 3.
Yeah.
Man, so to Dakota, how old are you?
27.
Okay, so we're about the same age. That makes sense now. So like for me, I was thinking about I don't know why, like Henry Cavill, like why he's out, if he is for sure or not. But like to me, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, when he signed on, Warner Brothers handed the reins to Zack Snyder, and I'm sure Zack Snyder kind of explained his vision to Henry Cavill, and that's what he signed on to,
right?
And
then not having Snyder's vision fulfilled, like
and then
I can see that
changed so much to the point where they're like, well, we're not really gonna do a whole universe continuity. We got the worlds of DC, and we're gonna. I don't think that's what Henry Cavill signed on to, and I think like I've been at jobs like that where like I got hired on, and after a while things changed up, and I was like, okay, well now I need to leave because this isn't what I signed up for, So
right.
I got, if he did leave, if those are his reasons, like I would get that because that's that's like the vision that he signed on to, and I think that's a shame. But that's my opinion,
Now we're all and like that's the thing, we're all so conflicted trying to cast Superman because he means like a different thing to everybody. I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, figuring what Superman that you're thinking of that you would like cast, what story from the comics would you like adapted?
I've been thinking about this, and I got one, man. It's a Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale book, Superman for All Seasons.
For All Seasons,
good. But then it's like, as much as I like bitch at DC for not having a true shared universe at this point. Like that one would have to kind of be a standalone movie.
I
don't think so.
I don't know. Go ahead, man.
No, go ahead, Dakota.
I was gonna say like my choice is like I said, I'm not a big DC reader, but I do dabble in that animated universe. But like, and it's more of a Justice League film, I guess. But the Justice League Doom, that's something that I would love to see, a new Superman. And, since it seems like they're bypassing origin stories altogether anyways, just go right into them and make these money stories from both animation and from comic books.
Yeah.
All right. So here's my idea for a Superman reboot. Okay. You cast John Hamm as Superman. Okay. First movie is Superman for All Seasons. You go ahead and do that.
Because that kind of establishes who he is, what he's about, like the rest of the cast of characters.
Yeah.
Can I change my choice to Carl Urban for Superman?
That's not a bad choice.
That'd be cool.
I just thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good choice. So that's your first movie. Your second movie is The Death of Superman and do it right. None of this Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
You fucking you get fucking Superman and Death of Superman.
So real quick,
Then
Nick, would you introduce Doomsday in the first movie at all, or even tease
it? Doomsday crashing on Earth would be the after credits scene.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You know what I'm saying? And have him come out in the fucking outfit with the fucking goggles and the fucking cables around him and
when
shit.
You start the second movie, you just like throw people into it.
That's right, man.
know?
You fucking start with fucking Doomsday rampaging in the forest and shit.
I'm on board.
And then because we have a DCEU, you start throwing some characters that you haven't been using in Justice League Adam. You know, just like they did in the real Death of Superman.
Like the Guardian.
Yeah, they threw Guardian, Bloodwind, who ended up being Martian Manhunter. I think Booster Gold, Fire and Ice, shit like that. So you throw these characters at them, and for whatever reason, Superman's doing something. You got to figure out how to have Superman not appear that much in the first act. Then the second and third acts, you go full bore fucking Superman versus Doomsday. Like Superman, somebody dies, and Superman shows up and is like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I'm taking you out. Bam. Yep. So you go through the whole Death of Superman thing. Bang. And then, of course, he has to come back in the after credit scene for the second movie. Like, he has to just, like, rise from the grave. You know what I'm saying? There has to be something there. The third movie you do is All-Star Superman. And that's perfect. Bang. You have a beautiful fucking trilogy. It has 3 of the best Superman stories ever told. You have a marketable star, and you can use John. Could you imagine John Hamm, with the people that they're talking about for Batman, like Jake Gyllenhaal and shit like that?
Dude, that would fit perfect. Especially the Bruce Wayne side, he would fit Bruce Wayne perfect. Mm-hmm. If you ever watch Mad Men before he goes off the rockers as Don Draper, yeah, he's good.
Yeah, so that's how I do it, man. And does anybody else have anything to talk about with Superman? Because I want to fix the rest of the DCEU too.
Yeah. All right.
So, guys, this is going to be a 4-hour podcast.
This is probably going to be a 3-hour show. So everybody, get your liquor up, fucking a drink, get comfy, because we're talking some shit tonight.
That really sucks because I could go with a total reboot,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't give a fuck. The only one I would be sorry to lose is Gail.
Oh my
god, man! I wouldn't like.
No, I would not.
See that's my next question. Is since we're losing Batman because Affleck going back to rehab, he's not going to be Batman.
Yeah,
nope.
I'm with you on that. I think that's a foregone conclusion at this.
So we're losing Affleck.
I would
maybe losing fucking Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So
but I feel like you can still keep
Jason
Wonder Woman and keep Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
You have that Aquaman movie man, it would be right now they're damned if they do, damned if they don't, but I think this would be an opportune time for them to just start over.
Yeah.
Just pull from what we have already from those from Wonder Woman and from Aquaman, because I think Aquaman is going to be a damn good film.
I think too, and that's to me what bums me out, because I think that's going to be a good movie. Wonder Woman 2, I think is going to be good too, based on the first one. But if they, to me, what do they want to do? Do they want to do a shared universe or do they not? And if they do, then if they have to recast Superman, fucking Batman, you have to almost start over. To me,
they really need to go ahead. They need to focus on some other stuff too, like Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter. Do something.
Right.
Let Superman and Batman fade into the background.
We desperately need a new Green Lantern.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Ryan Reynolds has shit all over that, in every possible way.
People dude, you remember that movie too, man.
It can't happen. He killed himself. There's no Green Lantern movie.
Exactly. So Russ is like, what are you talking about? There was no Green Lantern movie.
I just refuse to forget it. It didn't happen.
Yeah, but it's just,
I mean, you can't. That's the thing that DC has to realize, is that they have to recast these roles. You can't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You have to keep what is working, and that's Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot And if they wanted to, they could even keep Cyborg. He wasn't that bad as that character.
And see, it's like Cyborg and Flash. I forgot they were even in that movie because, like,
I know I kind of
desperately need a new Flash. Desperately need a new Flash.
They should have.
Yeah, thank you. It should have been the dude from the TV show. I got no problem with the actor that played him, but it should have been TV Universe Flash because, like, that would have been such a. Like that would have been tying things together even tighter than Marvel's doing right now.
Dakota, that to me was the first red flag with DC when they said they were recasting Flash and the TV Green Arrow that already had a following. I think at that point he was in season 2, which was like the best season of that show.
Yeah,
they weren't going to use him in the movie, and I think that to me was a fail. But to me, it's like, I know they've said this on other podcasts. But like Marvel has trained people how to watch these comic book movies. So if people go in and there's different actors playing Batman, different people playing Superman and shit, like they're gonna be confused because now after fucking 10 years of this shit, they're expecting to see this person's Batman in this movie. Yeah, he's gonna be Batman in this movie, and like that's
Marvel now. Yeah, Marvel had one fuck up with Ed Norton to Mark Ruffalo. Like that was their only.
That was it, and that's with,
they recasted, Red Skull too, but like not a lot of people are gonna.
Yeah, but they've done under 10 pounds of makeup. But like
that's too, that's true too.
In Dakota, and that's with Marvel having a fraction of their characters under their umbrella. Warner Brothers has every right to every DC character from Jump Street.
Yeah,
and to me, like I said, like I always look at my wife. It's like I gauge her or how I gauge like the general audience, you know what I mean? Because like she's not she's not into any of this shit, and she is confused about what's going on with DC. Like when all these things come up, and I explain it to her, and I'm like, well, shit, if she's confused, other people are gonna be confused.
Yeah,
you know?
Man, they missed a big opportunity not doing that, not tying that knot tighter. The Marvel knot is tied pretty tight in some areas and a little looser in the others, but it's all still tied together. But like DC, because they were coming on after that and they had all that stuff going with the TV shows, there was such an opportunity and they blew it. Absolutely blew it.
See, here's the thing: DC is trying to copy Marvel so much that they're not integrating their TV with their movies.
They're not integrating their movies with their movies.
Well, that's true. That's true. Like, look at what they're trying to do with the
Jeez, Rob, just kick them while they're down, man.
I know,
dude. DC needs to be kicked.
I think they're past the point of no return. Like as far as the movie the cinematic stuff goes, I think they're past the point of no return. I hear their comics are baller shot caller though. I don't have the connection to read them, but like as far as live action, they need to shut the shit down, do a couple of years of animated, and then come back with a more coherent thing.
Vision.
Dakota, I got you back.
Like animated movies so well, but they can't do live action for shit.
Dude, Russ, I hear you on that. Every one of those animated movies, I get them as soon as they come out and watch them.
Yeah.
And I always enjoy them.
It's done so well. I've been like wanting some good Marvel anime. Like the last thing they did that I thought was just really awesome was the deal they did with manga, right? The anime style like X-Men and Iron Man and Wolverine.
Oh my god,
that shit was fucking so good.
TV. Those are so cool.
Dude, I still watch them. Like I still regularly pop them into the Xbox and watch them.
But
but like if Marvel could get their animation game as strong as DC, and then like I feel like we're on the upswing of Marvel Comics, like coming back and starting to tell better stories. I hope I'm right about that. Marvel will dominate, dude.
Yeah, man, I've been enjoying Infinity War, and Thanos has been consistently good.
Yeah, I have not read Infinity Wars yet. I've been thinking about picking it up.
That whole corner, like the Thanos book was excellent. Infinity War is really surprising me with like how they're setting things up.
Really, and don't spoil it.
This last issue was really good, and then I mean they have fun stuff coming out of that Thanos corner, with fucking Cosmic Ghost Rider. That book is fucking nuts.
Whenever like recently Thor was in hell, fighting, like trying to get his family's order together, and like Thanos showed up, and it was like, if anyone sees that Hela and Balder shouldn't be married, like, speak now or forever hold your peace. And it was Thanos. He was like, I'm speaking, like, like, holy shit. but later in that book, he was like, Hela, we're breaking up. And he was like, my true love, the stones have returned, and I have got to go do this. That's what made me want to pick up Infinity Wars.
Dude, Infinity Wars is baller. Pick up the Prime and the Countdown shit.
Oh yeah.
All right, yeah, I'll have to do that. What issue is Infinity Wars?
3.
Is it 2? Okay, it's 3. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to backtrack the rest and pick those up. My LCS probably still has them all.
Dude, issue 2 fucking blew my mind.
I'll tell you what's
3
blowing my mind right now.
3 will too.
Extermination has me fucking pumped, dude.
Dude, I haven't got it yet, but I've read the spoilers and shit, so I know what's going on, and that's actually interesting to me. And I haven't been interested, besides like Wolverine solo shit, I haven't been interested in the X-Men for years.
Yeah, it's and don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Blue and Gold. Like, and I know we're getting off on a bad tangent, and I'm sorry.
No,
but
there is no tangent on this show.
I really liked Blue and Gold, and those two, like, they finish up in a couple of weeks. And then to finish out Extermination, and then I plan on picking up all 5 of the X-Men Black one shots, and then Uncanny is coming back with a 10-issue weekly run, and it's gonna be great, man. Like, I'm really looking forward. Like, I feel like X-Men is definitely on the upswing again.
Now, have you been grabbing the Hunt for Wolverine shit?
I have not. I feel like that's a little too gimmicky for me. Like, I'm fine with just reading a synopsis of how he entered back into the fold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought, like, I after reading The Death of Wolverine, I was like, okay, this is just a gimmick,
Oh, absolutely. They're not going to kill off their cash cow.
No. And they try, and like I feel like they tried, and they're like, hey, look at Laura, she's great, right? And everyone was like, no. So yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna last.
The New Mutants movie is still coming out. It is going to be rated R.
Good.
And it is going to be basically a New Mutants horror movie, and supposedly it's adapting the Demon Bear storyline.
Cool. Dark Phoenix is done, isn't it? Like, that one's not coming out.
No, they're doing reshoots on it right now.
Yeah, I thought they are going to do
it.
Yeah, they're doing more reshoots.
I thought that was redo the last third of it like 3 times over now.
I thought it was like dead in the water. That's
basically because Marvel has the rights back to it.
Yeah,
what they're doing is they're reshooting it enough so that they can lay seeds to have the fucking X-Men in the MCU.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm getting goosebumps.
They're trying to fix it. That's what they're trying to do. Just say it. They're trying to fix it.
They're trying to fix it because
that's a discussion for another time. It's like
I hope I'm off that Friday because I want to be on it.
Yeah, like I love Magneto and Professor X from these last few X-Men movies.
And Fassbender.
Like, I think they're great, and I'd love to see them brought over. But again, if they can't do it clean, then just recast. Because I don't want that.
I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing I was talking about with DC. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
You need to take the good elements that they already have and transfer those over. Because
I feel like the end of Avengers 4 will be a really good setup for that. And I think that's what a lot of people
see what they do, man. And then they're keeping that shit so tight under wraps, which I'm totally fine.
There's
because I'm gonna go see that movie.
They filmed them both back to back.
Yeah.
And there's
And the other thing, the other member of that cast that I think is great is that kid that plays Beast. That was in fucking
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult. Yeah. Keep that fucker.
Quicksilver's good. I mean, the whole X-Men cast now is great.
Yeah, even the girl that played Mystique, like, if you didn't like what they did with the character writing-wise, that's not her fault. Like, that's a good actress.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
She like...
Yeah, I thought she was...
She fit that role perfect.
Yeah, I thought she
did.
was great on the role. She was beautiful.
I wish she was more comfortable in the makeup. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
I think that shit gives her like a skin condition, and that's
Yeah,
why
I mean, that's why she's pretty much done.
I think
and, you know,
I think she's taking a wait and see role because you know you fucking take her and give her some of this MCU writing and
Yeah, man. And just the trust that they have in their filmmakers, and at this point, you get an MCU role, like you're fucking set for life.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Yeah, but she's like a pretty hot actress right now. She is set.
Her net worth is already pretty high.
You know.
I'd love for them to keep her, but I don't think she's going to do anymore. I mean, I could be wrong, but
yeah, I kind of want to turn it back a little bit. Dakota, you've been reading the X-Men books, right?
Yes, I everything but Red and Astonishing and like Generation X.
Oh, so you haven't been reading Astonishing?
I have not been reading Astonishing. I wanted to kind of keep it fairly simple. The only ones I really kept up with were Weapon X up until issue 20, and all of Blue and Gold, and all of Cable since 2017.
All right. See, my issue is I'm a Grant Morrison mark. I love Grant Morrison. Like, that's my dude. And I thought one of the most interesting characters that they introduced into the fucking X-Men in the last 15, 20 years was Phantom X.
Yeah.
And then what they do to Phantom X, I thought that was bullshit.
Yeah, and see, for me, I couldn't really get into I've like in my head, and it's I'm surprised I even kept Weapon X. I don't like it whenever they share a bunch of characters. Like, how are they doing all this shit in Gold and then doing all this shit in Astonishing, and then how's Old Man Logan doing things in both, and then he's doing things in his own book, and he's doing things in Weapon X.
That's hard for me.
You know, it's like that's why like I dropped a lot of those titles, and I wanted to keep the two main books. I wish I picked up Red, and I may go back and track down those issues of X-Men Red just to have all sides of that story.
Yeah,
but like any of the books that I viewed as side books, and honestly, Astonishing was a side book. It wasn't meant to be the main book like Blue and Gold. So like that's something that I can leave there, and it didn't even happen. Like, as far as I'm concerned.
Walter, I've read every Grant Morrison Batman story, just so you know, bro. I love Grant Morrison. I read all his shit. The only thing I haven't read is his new Santa Claus book and the Indian God stories he's doing for like Alterna or something. But yeah, Grant Morrison's the man. But just so you guys know what we're talking about, spoiler alert: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Professor X is back, and he is taking over Phantom X's body. And he's a new character called, what is it, Mr. X?
Yes.
How creative.
You know, at first I thought they were gonna have him like early on in the story, like early on in Blue. I thought they were kind of sowing some seeds for him to have taken over Zorn's body.
Yeah.
But that turned out to not be the case.
So
but I knew he was back.
Yeah, so he's taking over Phantom X's body, and he has fucking mind wiped the rest of the X-Men so that they forget what happened. So they don't know. So they think this dude is a completely new dude. Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Wow.
That's why for me, like I feel like Astonishing is just kind of in its own thing, and I'm sure whenever Uncanny comes around, and we'll see maybe some more of it in Extermination, which Extermination seems to be really following a lot of the Blue Team, the young original 5, and that was really interesting, like as far as story goes, and how like it looks like they're setting it up to send them back. All the promotional art for Uncanny doesn't show the young X-Men anywhere near into that. We've already gotten the rumors that original Cyclops, Scott Summers, he's coming back.
Hell yeah.
And we'll have and like with that, we've already got the original Jean Grey back again. So I think, like I said, man, I feel like it's on the upswing, and I'm sure that I'm sure in Extermination is whenever he'll reveal that he is Charles Xavier.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna move on because we've spoiled things. We've gone off the rack. We've been fucking around.
Off the runner.
Off the runner. There you go. Hey, plug.
But
All right. This is a discussion that I've wanted to have for like 2 weeks now. And we just have had to fucking table the fucking thing. And I want to talk about combiners.
That's called over planning, man. That's a good thing.
No,
All right,
dude,
everyone
we've,
brace
just
yourself.
we've just had so much material, and this has been my baby. But you guys know me. I take it for the team.
We're about to. You damn right. You take it by the team, baby.
Yeah, baby. How do you think I got this cast, man?
Looking good.
But
everyone, fair warning. We're about to discuss ribbits. So.
Yeah. So if you don't like how we talk about toys, this is your chance to tune out. But I want to talk about combiners.
Peace out.
All right, Rob.
Excuse me. See, that's how professional we are. I cough on camera.
Yeah, all good.
I wanted to talk about the scale of combiners and what you collect. Like, are you collecting masterpiece size, like with the fucking Constructor and Zeta Toys stuff? Are you collecting more like a Combiner Wars size with Combiner Wars and Generation Toy and unique toys and shit like that? Or even Legends combiners? Like, are you like married to a scale, or are you collecting multiples?
I'm trying to stick everything with the masterpiece scale. I actually got in late on the combiners, so like right now I'm the
Probably
two bots
a
in
good thing at this point, man.
It is. I got the two Zeta aerial bots. The KO Orbitron, the big one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Shame on you, Rob. Shame on you.
You know what? The only options I had when that son of a bitch came out were that or the original Orbitron, and I wanted the big guy.
Yeah.
I messed with Constructor. I still haven't bought Constructor because I've got the Combiner Wars one, and he's okay. Ish.
I feel like in combined mode, that's the most solid Devastator you'll get.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The only issue I have with mine is Scrapper, the bucket foot. Other than that, he's solid as shit.
Well, that was
right legs are a problem.
Don't do that shit.
Surprise.
That was like a defect that they were having with some of them was the scrapper, the lock for the shovel for the front of the foot was not locking in.
Mm-hmm.
I've been lucky. Mine has held up pretty well. So,
I mean, mine stands, but you ain't posing him.
yeah. But yeah, that's weird because that's kind of like my MP Devastator.
It is right now for me too. As long as you don't take him apart, he's fine.
The way I understand it is like that was during the design process, like that was intended to be, not necessarily like where they landed was not intended to be masterpiece, but like while it was being designed, like that along the way that was like this is our idea for masterpiece Devastator.
You can see that in like how the legs connect, I think.
Yeah.
And then to me, like the arms kind of is where it falls apart. But
obviously there were some changes.
Yeah. Like they had to make some concessions given the price point that they're probably limited to. But
yeah. I mean, so are you guys pretty much in on the like masterpiece scale combiners?
That's where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
I am not. I'm actually married to Chug scale. You know, obviously when it comes to Beast Wars, I want it all. Vintage, masterpiece, Chug.
Sure.
Whatever you do, give it to me. Now you can hold off on Chug because I'd love to keep buying 3 of every masterpiece they put out. And there's like one more big one after Megatron, but not quite as big. After that, like sure, I'll buy Chug to supplement. But I like it. I like it all as far as Beast Wars goes. But for my G1 stuff, I have a pretty dedicated comics character shelf, and I keep it Chug. That is where I started collecting. That not only that style, but just those characters in general. And I don't have the real estate nor the desire to upgrade that to a larger scale like masterpiece. But I also don't have the desire to replace and downsize it to the Legend scale, even though I'm a big fan of Iron Factory's aesthetic and design. I'm surprised none of that hasn't been knocked off to chug scale stuff because I'd be buying it up, man. I'd be eating that stuff up.
Yeah, some of it.
I'll be honest.
Toys is actually
Yeah.
resizing some of the Iron Factory stuff to a chug scale.
I'll be honest, man.
It's not. I don't think it's quite big enough to be chug scale, but it's more is like to fit in line with the DX9 stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Scales don't quite match up.
If I knew the Legend scale shit was gonna get as good as it has, but when I started getting the Masterpiece, I almost think I would have skipped Masterpiece and just stuck with the Legend stuff.
Yeah,
there's so much more you can do with it, and you have stuff like the Titan class Metroplex, Triptychon, and Fortress Maximus, to where it makes sense. Like it absolutely makes sense to like, if you have those figures, you want to go with a Legend scale because they scale with those. And you can have this big awesome display with all these little guys and these big towering cities.
And that Combiner Bruticus that Iron Factory did, that thing is the shit.
I'm holding it right now. It is amazing.
That's what got me into all this shit, and that thing is fucking great.
See, that's my plan for my next display. Is I'm getting a fucking table and I'm gonna fucking scape it out. Like Warhammer table, and I'm gonna do like the big bots and then legends. So
that's where you can go further with that shit, Nick. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not really a Dio guy, as it is. I'm not Pinkerton, and I'm not is it JD? Yeah. I'm not those guys. I'm not on their level, but I think big like them, and I think that's what counts. But man, I would take some styrene sheets and cut some futuristic looking buildings and I would do all kind of crazy shit to
scratch build some buildings.
Absolutely.
Plot plate.
We got the space now. I've actually been debating getting into Dio making with my son because he really wants to do it. Dude, and I'm looking at all this Legend stuff and all the G.I. Joe stuff that I've got. I'm like, this would be this would be awesome.
Perfect scale, and those are the perfect scales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a 4x8 table.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fucking perfect.
That'd be a cool little project.
And you can put the entire cast in Legend scale on that table.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Twice over. Like, I mean, that's
because they're going to make them all within the next year and a half.
Yeah.
Now, Dakota, I got a question for you. If they were to do Magnaboss and Tripredicus in Masterpiece scale, those would probably be the size of a Combiner Wars combiner, right?
Probably a little bit bigger.
Okay. Let me like, this is where we have to do math, gang. So you would have to like, for Magnaboss and Tripredicus, or in my opinion, it would be Magnaboss and Tripledecus, because I feel like they would do it in Beast Wars 2nd and not so much in the American line, right? Because that's how they got it in Japan. So Lio Convoy is about the same size as Optimus Primal, and those combiners are a little bit bigger than Primal in like the original Primal toy. So you have to look at the Masterpiece Primal, and you have to kind of imagine a Masterpiece Lio Convoy that's his size. Then from there, you have to you have to go and you have to look like, okay, Lio Jr. probably stands, in robot mode about his waist, maybe between his chin and like probably the center of his chest, I would say. It varies because that was self shaded animation, so they could kind of make scaling work. But whenever Magnaboss and Tripledecus combined, they were pretty big. Like, they were probably 2.5 times bigger than Lio Convoy. So, like, I don't have a Combiner Wars toy near me
about
to
12
do
inches.
About 12 inches, yeah.
The comparison. Oh, okay. And Beast Primal is what, 7 inches? So
like
it would be maybe 3 or 4 inches taller than a Combiner Wars toy. But it would be
15, 16.
Yeah, it would be plausible because it is 3 characters instead of 5 and the way they have the Beast Wars Masterpiece scale, I feel like it's at a perfect scale. It's with the Primal being the smaller one, and you know what I mean. Like I'm glad they scaled it like that. And then from there, you could actually, because Lyle Convoy showed up in Beast Wars Neo, you could scale all the Neo cast to him as well. Like it all comes back to MP32. That you could scale the entire toy line off of that, which is just great. But yeah, he'd be a little bit taller than a Combiner Wars combiner. if I'm doing everything right in my head, I could
Yeah, it sounds about right, man.
Yeah. Now let me ask you: Are you guys? Do you guys like your combiners to be different heights? Like I do. Well, I get aggravated because I've always felt that Minosaur should be shorter than Superion. Mm-hmm. Like in my head, because like scale, I really do believe that scale is like, it's all your personal opinion, personal preference.
It's all your own personal headcanon.
Exactly, and to me, I mean, they're formed from cars and a truck, right? So I always think that it should definitely be a shorter combiner than a combiner created from jet planes and big ass
construction vehicles.
I mean, you're right. That's another one, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of, I enjoy kind of the idea of different combiners being different heights. So
that's what's awesome about being a Beast Wars fan. Like when they're all giant animals, it doesn't fucking matter.
That's true too. No, you're right. That's a good point.
That's what I was gonna say is like the only one that doesn't follow that rule for me with like the G1 combiners is Predaking. I think Predaking should be gigantic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Predaking should tower over the rest. But like I'm okay with the Gestalts being I would say the main one, the Scramble City ones. I'm okay with them being the same size. I would like to see some height differences here and there. That's why I didn't really particularly care for the way Combiner Wars handled it was all the same measurements, same heights. Every limb was the same. And I get like every limb had to kind of be the same, But as far as the torsos, I feel like maybe they should have given them a little more wild designs. Like okay, you can have Silverbolt be a relatively big robot and a big torso, and then have Motormaster, be a smaller one.
Right.
And I think that would have. I think that even would have worked for the, just the scale. The dimensions of them, like how they appeared.
Yeah. And another question is, how do you guys feel about characters that don't usually combine? Like, I know everybody seems to hate Dinobot combiners.
Loved it. I actually loved Volcanicus.
Yeah.
Really?
I like the idea of it.
You suck, Dakota. Anyway.
No, I say that having sold it a little while back, but that was honestly to capitalize. That was to capitalize on the upgrade kit coming out and people paying a lot of money for it. So
I don't know. I like what Toy World and G Creations did with the Dinobot combiner. I mean, it's a unique idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not completely sold on it. And then you get into stuff like that weird Combiner Wars Optimus Prime combiners. Like, you can leave that out.
I think if there's supplementing fiction for it, then I'm more behind it. Because, the Combiner Wars little mini run in the comics, in the IDW comics, it wasn't the best run, but I felt like it was done good. And it was something that could get me behind the idea of Optimus Maximus.
Well, at least
or whatever
they explained it, with the Enigma combination and all that shit.
Right, and it's easier to kind of get behind and follow. However, I liked Volcanicus just because it looked like a cool ass combined mode. All these robotic dinosaurs coming together. But like they're so far, and with only like three or four issues or 2 issues left of IDW. We haven't seen that happen, and the how they did it in the Machinima series was stupid. So like that's why I think I don't think that's why that's not coming together as good as say Optimus Maximus.
Now see, you have the Dinobot combiner on one side, and then if you go to Iron Factory, you have the DJD combiner they're doing on the other.
Can't fucking wait.
That thing looks
dope to me. Where
it's
like
so awesome.
The idea of it
is if like if they don't have to sacrifice anything in the individual mode to make them combine, then like go ahead and do it. because like the Toy World and G Creations, like I haven't handled either one, but like from what I've seen, like they stand alone well as like just sets of Dinobots, you know. So I think if you can do that and make them combine, it's cool. But if you have to like make a bunch of sacrifices to make them combine, it's not worth it. But
I'll be honest,
like
those
Iron Factory
Dinobots,
and DJD, I'm all in on that.
Yeah,
those Hasbro Dinobots, the deluxes I think were all aces, but the Grimlock was like this thing kind of sucks. Had they gone with a better design for him, I think I think maybe that would have also been a little better received. A lot of people want Dinobots to all be big Voyager class toys.
Yeah,
I can
have
get behind that too.
I would have loved them to all been the same Voyager scale.
They KO'd
combining gimmick.
Yeah.
They KO'd the limbs of the Voyager scale. But...
And see, with Predaking, isn't everything Voyager size?
Yes.
For Hasbro.
But
so I mean,
that thing still looks like a mess.
Yeah,
got the legs hanging off the back of the robots.
Yeah, dude. Like
the problem is,
man, I feel like they really cheaped out on that.
And the problem is with the fiction, like in the Machinima, Volcanicus was the same size as Predaking.
That's right, exactly.
Right. And he didn't look anything like the
toys. And
so I mean, that's kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
but like I think that like what we're showing here is that, you know, there's a market for these combiners that aren't traditional, you know, that you can put in your own head canon, especially that DJD one, man. That's a fucking beautiful piece, and I love how it just like combines into like a super powered Tarn, you know.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
And it's like
that's
the combined form was great, the individual forms were great. So
yeah.
When I first heard about it, I hated it, but I'm sold on it when I saw it. That's all the pictures.
See, believe in me, Russ. I remember when I told you that night, you're like, "Oh, that's terrible." Then I showed you
I saw him too.
I'm a huge DJD fan, man. So you gotta, if you're gonna do something crazy like that with them, you gotta sell me on it. And that, I gotta admit, it looks cool. I have to say, you know,
having not owned any Iron Factory until a couple of weeks ago, where I've got that Bruticus. Man, if that DJD is up to the same quality, or even by the time it's released, even better, it will be absolutely amazing.
Iron
Because that Bruticus
just fun, man. Just fun to fuck with and pose and so like going back to the scale thing, like over the summer, we had like a goddamn financial crisis at the house, so I literally sold everything I owned. And then things got better, so I was like starting from scratch with my collection. But and like Dakota, I was like all chug scale pretty much. But like the whole time I was collecting that, like I always in the back of my head was like, I just want to get into this Legends shit. So I was starting from scratch, and I did. I got the Iron Factory Bruticus, and to me, like that's the perfect scale for Transformers, because like I buy Transformers to transform them in like with either like more expensive chug stuff, like third-party chug stuff, or masterpiece scale stuff that I've had. Like I didn't want to fuck with it or like mess with it.
Oh, like, that's why you buy two.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Just real quick, I just want to say, happy birthday, Deluxe, and thanks for stopping by.
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, but like all this like legend stuff, like I have no problem just picking it up and messing with it. Like the kids will mess with it, you know, and like if it gets broke, it gets broke, and like they're like $30 a piece. But like this to me is like, this is what I'm gonna stick with the Transformers.
And dude, a lot of that Iron Factory stuff is like top quality plastic. Like, you know, I mean, it's very thick, very thick plastic.
Like I was saying, like I let my kids play with it, you know.
Yeah, dude.
The first Iron Factory, you figure that fucking tempted me was that Overlord. That fucking thing was
that looked awesome too.
I had their Drift and their Deadlock for a little while, and like Sam, like you're bringing up a really good point. Like if for whatever reason I had to, you know, like Beast Wars shit's not going anywhere. I'll be homeless with all that shit in my trunk. But like
you're gonna need a big car.
No, I mean I can fit it all in that Camaro. It's fine. But like, you know, all of the like the G1 inspired stuff, like as far as like, the chug stuff goes, if I had to start that from scratch again, oh man, I'd absolutely just go in on the iron. Like I wouldn't have an excuse then, you know.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
yeah,
okay,
because like for me, I was like, well, I can't like trade all this shit in, but then it's like fucking circumstances took control, and I was like, well, I gotta start from scratch, so let me just finally get into this stuff. And like I got like the first set that came with Swindle and Brawl, and I was like, okay, like these are great, you know. And it's
Yeah.
fucking, I've been all in since then.
I see. I got hooked on Iron Factory with their Scorponok, that Lord Scorpion.
Yeah,
I bought that because I'm a Scorponok fanatic.
yeah,
And I wanted that little guy to go with Pandanus, and I'm like, this is going to be cool. And he is so fucking good.
Dude.
So solid for such a little figure. I pulled that thing out of the box thinking, all right, it's going to be.
That thing's cool, man.
It is. It's a masterpiece scaled down.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And everyone I've touched since then is the same thing.
I even got I got the Iron Factory Scorponok, and then since then I got the Master Made Scorponok with like the head kit that makes it like not super deformed. And like that's where I think I'm gonna go for like my big bots is the Master Made stuff, because like dude, I got that Scorponok in the box is like half as tall as I am. Not that that's saying much, Nick.
So that box can't ride any roller coasters either, huh?
Yeah,
it's got a
way. Shout out to Ham and Fist Productions in the chat. It says the new Lewin Super Oversized Prime is basically a mini car for your kids.
Dude, I want
That's awesome, dude.
Dude, I can't remember. I don't think I ever showed it or shared it, but whenever I got my Masterpiece Dinobots in,
picture of his junk, guys.
Whenever I got my Masterpiece Dinobots in, because I got 4 of them, I stacked the boxes all vertically, like they were as tall as I was. It was ridiculous.
Nah, man, I'm not a fan of the Dinobots combining, so I'll just put that out there now. But I have to admit it's intriguing. But one of the cool things about the Dinobots for me is they were the team that could fuck everyone up, and they didn't have to combine. You know, they didn't need
They were
to
the
do it.
monster bots before the monster bots.
Right, they could just destroy everything and fuck everyone up. You know, and you know, even though Devastator used to kick their ass, you know, it's kind of
Dude, Devastator kicked their ass once, man. Come on.
Come on.
It was a pretty badass whipping, though.
All right, so
you know,
oh, go ahead, Russ.
no, I was gonna say I'm just, you know, but I mean, I think it's neat for play value to be able to combine the Dinobots, and it's kind of it's an unusual. You know, I even like the third party ones that do it. I think they look pretty awesome. So I get it.
And Hasbro doing it like you said, like the play factor. Hasbro is the introductory line. It's the line for children. So I mean, if you can add another play factor to a Transformers kids toy, you're gonna draw more people in.
Yep. Yeah. No, I have all of those Dinobots, but I'll never combine them because
I did just to see.
Did you?
It's a floppy, shaky mess.
Well, so it's like every other combiner from pretty much. Okay.
But like, you know, for retail Dinobots though, they're fun little Dinobots.
Right. I like them all. Their individual figures, I think, are
I'm
great.
just not a big fan of the combining gimmick.
Gotcha.
Ian's got the first 2 deluxes that released. Swoop and who the hell was the other one? I don't remember. Slag. Yeah, he's got the first 2, and I've messed with them a bit. Those are probably the most solid retail deluxes.
Honestly, those are the funner of the 4 limbs.
Yeah.
Like the other 2 were they weren't as impressive to me as Swoop and Slag.
Yeah.
Really? I like Snarl. I like Snarl better than Slag.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Like so Swoop and Slag, man, they got more top marks for me. And I know like one of them's a retool or whatever of the other one, and that's fine. I'm always cool with retools.
That's our next part.
It's just something about it. Well, I mean, I know, and like I wasn't trying to get in too prematurely into that, repaints and retools. But yeah, I guess,
Yeah,
But
that's what I wanted to get into next was repaints and retools. What'd you have to say, Josh?
oh, I was just gonna say, I never did really weigh in on the scale. I mean,
go ahead,
the
man.
combiner scale, it doesn't
this
bother
I'm
me.
curious to hear, Josh, because you're
Well,
kind of
see-
newer into this, right?
Yeah, I'm newer into it. I've been collecting like hardcore less than 2 years. I've always been a fan, and I've always had a few pieces here and there, and a lot of various cherry picked chug stuff over the years. But I've my first MP combiner will be completed when Zeta drops Bruticus, their onslaught.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
this week, right?
It's supposed to be
Next
coming
week?
out next week.
I've been catching reviews on it, man. It looks good.
I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. I've got their 2 aerial bots, but I've also, got that Iron Factory Bruticus, and it's also amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily beholden to scale. I like a difference in scale, but at the same time, I kind of want everything to be close in size. Like now that Zeta and Toy World have started this newer scale, it's like, okay, I don't want a 14-inch tall Devastator when there's a almost 2 feet tall version of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back and get these TFC combiners. They've not held up well over time, and they're a lot shorter relatively. It's like, hey, MMC's Feral Rex looks amazing, but I don't want that size now. I kind of want everything to be bigger at this point.
Yeah.
The size kind of works. Go ahead.
I was gonna say if it's not like either Legends or Masterpiece, it kind of falls out.
Yeah. If it's not like an MP scale or a Legend scale, I don't really want it. But I'm fine with having like a version of each. I like having a Legends. I like having an MP.
For sure.
But and I've even got some chug scale stuff, but chug scale is a lot more cherry picked. I've got that Dinobot set. I combine it for the shits and giggles just to see what it was like. Not for me. I can see why kids would love it. Not for me. But would I absolutely want both, MP Dinobots and, Legend scaled. But yeah, man, I don't know. But
so I've got a question for you, Josh, because you're It doesn't seem like the real estate for it is quite an issue for you, like as it is for me.
It is, but it's not as terrible because I will make room.
Yeah, somehow. And that's what I was wondering. How many of the Scramble City guys are there? 5 or 6? Could you have the room set aside for all of those combiners at that 2 feet tall size? And then even still trying to kind of wedge some other stuff in there so it looks, they look like they're with the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, by the time I move this Joe collection, probably.
Yeah.
You see, that's it. Oh, sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't saying anything.
I keep feeling like I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry. But
it's all right. I'm used to being cut off. Parts of me anyway.
Oh, fucking God.
But,
hello, darkness, my old friend.
See, I'm kind of in for the Combiner Wars scale. I'm going to have a giant fucking Omega Supreme, a giant Fort Max, and a giant fucking Triptychon and Scorpionhawk.
So
and
you
then
want
I'm gonna have. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's gonna be fucking cool because it's gonna delineate the size, of those city bots in Omega, as being way bigger than those combiners, which is what we're kind of seeing.
Right.
That's what they should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like for the Combiner Wars chug scale stuff, I feel like that like the way they are the gestalts for both Predaking, Devastator, and then the Scramble City guys. I feel like robot mode, combined mode, I feel like it all scales well. You have your Fort Max, then you have a smaller Predaking, Devastator, then you have an even smaller Minosaur and Superion, and then you have your Deluxe and Voyager guys. I think it all just works great in robot mode.
Yeah, so that's the way I'm going. But like the thing is I don't have the real estate for it right now. So like I can't really justify putting out that money for the city bots and fucking combiners when I'm just gonna have them boxed up in the closet until I get more space.
Dude, and Nick, that's where I'm at. So like I have literally not one thing on display right now. It's like the only shit that I'm keeping for sure is I got those NECA quarter scale turtles. And like those aren't going anywhere. And then anything that's like Nolan Batman, I'm keeping for forever. But other than that, I literally have like a 2-month rule. Like if I go 2 months without playing with it, I'm selling it.
I may or may not have taken all of the big guys and put them on top of our entertainment center in the living room for now. Much to my behest.
As long as you got them out and you're enjoying them.
Yeah,
everything else is in a box right now.
Yeah.
So
I don't have that. I don't have that freedom. I am completely contained in this room. And
man. Like that's
be able to add like two more shelves to my left right here. And I'm gonna even downsize my desk to do it. And the 2 shelves over here is gonna have to be like my Star Wars and Storm collectible shit.
I don't technically have the permission to do it. It just kind of happened, and my wife gave me the look. And it was, when are you gonna finish that end unit?
Yeah, that means get rid of that shit.
No, I just get my ass in gear and put the room together.
Yeah, right.
Now the next part of this discussion is how do you feel about the retools and repaints? Like, in that's part of what like spurred this whole topic for me was seeing Fans Project turn their Dino King into a Monstructor.
Hey, they're following Hasbro's model.
Yeah, I'll say that's.
Isn't that like?
But it looks so much. It looks so much better as Monstructor than it does as Dino King.
I actually agree with you. It looks really cool as Monstructor. It's badass.
But that's what they were like back in G1 though, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, to me, like if it emulates what they did in G1, then do it. But I mean that's what a lot of that line was. So if they're doing the same repaints that they did in G1, making them the same characters, and
so that's a good point. It's funny how I've bitched about the Combiner War repaints, right? It drove me fucking crazy, right? But as much as I bitched about it, if you look at G1 was tons of repaints. That's
So like here's my thing, like if they took that Dino King, repainted it, and called it Superion, then it would be a problem to me. But
okay. So how do you feel about Lio Kaiser then? The Combiner Wars Lio Kaiser? Considering
I don't like that one.
Is Leo, right?
Yeah, that one's
I didn't buy it because to me, I was actually when that came out, I got into Victory, so I was bummed that it wasn't the full set. But like to me, if that was your only option to get a Lio Kaiser, buy it. But then at the same time, when that was coming out, that the TFC one was it was on like TF Source for like $250.
Yeah,
and you can get all 6 of them. Like, the combiner sucked.
And then there's the still potential possibility of like the mech ideas one coming out too. I think I would be. I had the.
I hope that comes out.
Yeah, dude, me too. I had the Combiner Wars one, and I liked it. But like with most things that aren't Beast Wars, like they typically get recycled, and they end up going away. But
you sold that shit, didn't you?
Yeah. Absolutely. But it's not because I didn't like it. I sold it because it was like, I can make I'm gonna make a little bit of money on this.
Well, sure, because that was going for a pretty penny at one point.
I would have got that Combiner Wars one if Perfect Effect did some type of kit for it.
Yeah, but I mean, like as far as like a kit goes, I mean, I think you just need a Leozak and a Jalagar or whatever that dude's called.
Jalgar.
And like the sad thing with that is even with all the compromises they made in the Combiner Wars one, it's still a better combiner than the TFC one.
That is sad. That's really sad. TFC should be ashamed of themselves for that shit, dude.
But like that kind of leads me into mine. Like I mentioned, half of my collection is Beast Wars. The other half is almost exclusively repaints. Like that I've always been drawn to. Of course, most of those repaints are exclusives.
Right.
In one form or another, and I've always been drawn to that and to those. But even if they weren't, even if they were off the shelf retail toys, like some of them are, like I opted for the G2 Minosaur over the regular Combiner Wars Minosaur.
Yeah, because I felt like the colors of it though.
it wasn't really, dude. It wasn't even the colors thing. It was just it's a novelty thing because like, and I've been waiting for them to do Defensor, so that way like, I'll never pay that kind of money, even if I had it.
Yeah.
For those two combiners.
I understand.
But having a chug scale version of those, that is so cool. But like I've always, like I said, I've always liked the repaints and remolds typically more than the like what they were either originally intended to be or what they were originally released to be.
Right.
Yeah. Now the question goes to like, are you buying the G2 constructor? Are you buying the orange one? Are you buying the yellow one?
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, and it's not that it's G2 that I like it. It's that it's homaging an unreleased, very high dollar, very high ticket item.
Yeah.
And that's why like I would only have Minosaur and Defensor. Like I wouldn't get Bruticus, I wouldn't get Superion, I wouldn't get a Devastator if they made that. I just want those two because it's very fringe. And you know, I'd be fine with it. Like you know, that's I don't need all of those combiners. I would just like to have those two for the novelty of it.
I got you.
I have kind of a G2 chug display thanks to, you know, BotCon and the Collectors Club and stuff like that. You know, they typically took care of that portion of like making updates and things like that. So there's a place for them, but even if there wasn't, I would still have them just kind of in their own little area, and that's how I'd have them.
I gotcha.
See, like now, if Zeta goes and does a G2 version of their Superion, or Fans Toys does, you know, is there a market for that? Are people going to buy that, or did they just buy the G2 versions because it was Combiner Wars and you could get out of there for less than $200 for it?
Man, that's I think it's I don't know how fond people are of G2. I just don't know. I know like from the like prototype collector standpoint, there's a lot of people that like that stuff because it was limited and, you know, all the history behind it and all that other stuff. But as far as, you know, just genuine fans of like G2, I don't know, because, you know, that's where the brand fizzled out and died. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to hate on it because there were some wild ass colors in that. And you have the G2 Sideswipe masterpiece that Dakota came out with, but
that's the Sideswipe I have.
That price, you know, that scale.
As a kid, some of those G2 recolors were some of my first iterations of the characters they represented, like the G2 Sideswipe, the G2 Jazz, the G2 Devastator. Those were my first Sideswipe, Jazz, and Devastator toys that I ever owned.
Yeah.
So, like the Make Toys G2 Downbeat, that was the TFCon exclusive. That thing is beautiful. I'd love to have it. You know, I would love to have this new G2 Yellow Devastator. But at the same time, I'm like, but I want a green Debbie before I get a yellow Debbie. You know, and then at the same time, I'm like, but would I really need to when I am limited on space? And
that's
the cost of buying a, you know, I don't want to spend $800 on two combiners of the same thing.
Yeah, that's when you have to weigh out how bad you want it.
Exactly.
If you go through, because Toy World's done the green, They've done the yellow. Aren't they doing orange?
They're doing an orange one as
They've
well.
done, like, the
And
clear
then-
ones of all of them.
And that's
I wonder
that's
if they're
great.
gonna do black.
And then Generation Toy is doing the black one. They've done the green one. They've done the orange one.
So
They've done the
Generation
clear
Toys is doing a
one.
black version.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
It's time.
makes
It's time
me
to
really
retire
like
those
that.
molds, man. Like,
Yeah.
It's
The-
you know, I mean,
the-
it's like it's cool for people that just love all of that, and that's great. Like I said, I'm right there with you. I love weird repaints and
Yeah.
even if they're exclusive or non-exclusive. But that's why. But at this, like on the same time, like I don't ever really factor price in with it when it
Yeah.
comes to buying this stuff, because like I think assuming that we're gonna see some of the same exclusives at TFCon Chicago that we did at Toronto this year. Like I see myself picking up, because like I bought the ticket to get shit early so I can just flip it online immediately. No shame in my game, but if like
And you won't touch the butt.
if that is very shameful. If
Doing the
they
butt.
have, what was it, Wild Rider, the G2 Wild Rider from Vance
Yeah.
Project, like that's one that I'm like, okay, looks like I'm not making any money on this one. I'm gonna keep it. I bought 2 of the breakdown robots because I love that homage that 94 exclusive. You know what I mean? I had one to open, I had one to keep on the card, and I think it's dope that it's on the card. And I think I would get a Wild Rider to open. I don't think I'd keep it on the card. Like I don't know. That's a real fucked up rabbit hole for me, because I'd love to have them all on the card and then all open, because I never got to play around with the Vance Project Minnesota. So like this is my first foray into those molds, but like that's one I think I see myself getting for me. I know the MMC exclusive, if they have the G2 Jazz there, I know I'll make my registration back just on flipping those alone. So I'm fine. But yeah, it's something else. Like, and of course it's all scale related, but
I found the Generation 2 Combiner Wars Stunticons not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. So I picked them up, but I bought them for my nephew. So I hang again, and then I was telling my wife, I was like, "Fuck, I should have got myself a set."
I'm gonna steal them back.
Actually, I was in my comic shop last Thursday,
Yeah.
and
How
Brian,
much they went for it?
Brian, the guy that owns it, he actually had just acquired a loose G2 Combiner Wars Minnesota.
Yeah.
Russ
I
needs you
didn't
to go
even-
steal it from the kid who bought it.
If he still got it, I'll call him in the morning, and if he still got it, Russ, I'll see how much he's got. He's wanting for it. And I'll let you
I know I got the one I got from my nephew was $40, dude. I got it at was it TJ Maxx?
Oh wow.
Found it on the discount. I was like, oh cool.
Yeah, I got my
He
son a
also-
bunch of Transformers from there too, man.
He also had a. It wasn't in the box, but it still had the original styrofoam insert, an almost complete Omega Supreme from 1985.
Oh wow.
It was missing. It was missing one of the yellow knee pads, and like the battery cover. But other than that, it was complete. I'm like,
Oh wow.
yeah. He said he thinks he has the 2 parts that he needs to make it complete. But
Oh, that's pretty cool.
he had just picked that up, and I was like, oh, that's awesome, because I had never, it was awesome that it was still in the styrofoam insert. I had
You don't see that a whole
never
lot with those. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
The guy
definitely.
didn't have the box anymore, but he had the insert for it, and I had
Well,
never seen.
there's like
an
they make
original
repro
Omega.
boxes, and some people are into that, some people aren't. But you
Mhm.
can get a repro box and kind of relive that. You know what I mean?
Walt, I'm glad you reminded me. I keep forgetting, man. I'm making a note of that right now. Honey, I need you to go to Mom's tomorrow to find that
He's talking to you,
that
Nick, or
amazing
this
300.
The what?
I got a copy of Amazing Spider-Man 300, bagged and boarded in storage up at my mom's, and I've just not been to my mom's, even though she lives a mile up the road. I've not been up there in like 6 weeks. And I told Walt that I would get that, and I would,
Walter!
because I have no need for it. He's wanting it. It's one of the key issues he needs. So
Yeah. Walt's
I'll
a big
get it and
Spider-Man
see what
guy.
I know he is. I know. He just needs
Even
that.
though he likes that fucking Dan Slott run.
Dude, man, I could have kept talking about comics all day. Rest in peace,
dude.
information creep.
Dan.
Oh, is it not coming back?
Man, it's just with my schedule, trying to get everyone else lined up. It's too hard, man. Everyone's stuff is kind of conflicting. Like I haven't even tried, but it's just my work schedule changes so much, and it's hard to get a line on it just a few days out.
That's why we were having so much trouble recording off the runner, all of us there for a while.
Yep. That's why I let like Chris and Dalton, if they ever wanted to host it, I'm like, man, y'all host it.
Yeah, if my PC could handle it, I would host. But my PC, I need a better graphics card.
Right.
Don't be
it can handle the video processing.
Yo, Walter, don't be sorry, man. Just like better comics.
Oh shit!
Nick, you savage, dude. Oh my
dude,
god.
I fucking hate Dan Slott. The way that I explain Dan Slott's Spider-Man is that if your best story for Spider-Man is a retelling of fucking Freaky Friday starring Doc Ock and Spider-Man, you've got a fucking problem, and you should probably not be writing comics.
I heard that was like a very, very like well received run.
Yeah, I did too, man.
People loved it.
I can't speak to it, but
people loved it.
Yeah, I know Bobby was talking about it on Nerd Rage. He borrowed Pinkerton's copy and read it, and he wasn't in.
Oh my, yeah, man. So he, I think that's funny that he talks about like I don't mean to talk about people, but he always says like Chris like hates stuff that's good and like stuff that's shitty. Like,
hey, shout out to Pinkerton though for getting into Hellboy hardcore and buying all of those,
man,
that
like,
collection. Those are some beautiful looking books, man.
Yeah, he's also another one. He's also another one that's dived down the Mythic Legions rabbit hole too.
Yeah, man, he went down that shit hard.
Yeah, he did. He bought a lot of shit, dude.
I love like, Mike Mignola's art.
Yeah, that shit's so good to me.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, Walter says it was plus Doc Ock is getting his own book. Yeah, Doc Ock is getting 2 books. They're doing superior. They're doing a superior.
Man, look at that guy getting 2 books. He's already got extra fucking legs, and here I am sitting with 1. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Actually,
I used to have to wear glasses.
That's at least 16 legs to your 1, Josh.
Hold on, Josh. You do have half a leg now.
I got about.
He-Man versus Thundercats was a good read.
He's all complaining, and he's about to be the Bionic Man and shit.
Yeah, he's about to get that
not Bionic
Oscar.
Yet.
He's about to get that Oscar Pistorius blade leg.
I'm not getting the sling blade leg. I'm not going to have Misty have me go out there and lay down and do fucking snowing just to get the grass.
Fucking Josh is gonna get the leg. Josh is gonna get the legs from that chick from fucking what's that fucking movie?
Oh,
Kingsman.
Yeah, Kingsman.
Oh.
Man, Josh is gonna walk onto a job site and be like, "Steel toes, motherfucker! This bitch is adamantium."
But yeah, so that superior Doc Ock is going to get a 6-issue series, and then they're bringing him back as Superior Spider-Man, running concurrently with Peter Parker.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Walter says that He-Man versus Thundercats was a good
That
read.
was a damn good read.
I want to read that. I want to get that. I'm gonna have to.
I think James
that.
Robinson did that shit.
Yeah.
Would DC?
Well, the art. I thought the art. I saw some of the art and it worked where it looks really good. So I was kind of like,
J. Scott Campbell did some of the covers for that, and
shit.
Yeah, but
awesome,
the story inside is awesome, and like the murder.
That's what I'm gonna track down.
If you're gonna read it, I won't fucking spoil it. But what DC did with He-Man is really good.
Yeah.
They had an arc called the Eternia War, and that's really good. Right now, I haven't read it yet, but they're doing Masters of the Universe versus Injustice.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's badass, dude.
Yeah, so it's that evil Superman versus He-Man and shit. Yeah, so
fucking A, man, hell yeah.
DC's doing some good shit in their comics and their animation, and just can't get it together for fucking live action.
Yeah, I know.
And man, Russ,
2 out of 3 ain't bad though.
Yeah.
And I suppose if you're a comic company and you're going to get something right, getting the comic book right is probably a good idea.
That's true. Yeah. But it would really be nice if they get their fucking shit straight with the live action. I'd love it.
Yeah, like
hire me, Warner Brothers. I'm fucking free, and I will fix your shit.
For real.
You'll work for free?
Yes. No, I meant I'm free, as in I don't have shit to do. So hire me, and I will fucking fix your shit. That's what I mean.
Because
what'd you say, Sam? What'd you say?
I was gonna say, Russ. Like, I hear you, man. Because I'm a DC fan first, so it sucks that they can't get their shit together.
I mean, I've always loved Marvel. Probably.
Uh-oh.
Well, R.I.P. to Russ, man. Nice.
Okay. Is Walt snapping? Yeah. Is Walt snapping in the chat?
Did I freeze up? Sorry.
Yeah.
I love Batman, but I love Superman. I love more. What I loved about Superman was more of the mythos of Krypton and shit than the back history of stuff that they did. But I love that stuff, and to see him not be able to do this shit straight on a live action movie drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So come on,
there's
guys.
There's so many compromises they have to make, and they've just made the wrong ones. Whereas Marvel seems to.
I think you're right. I think you're exactly right. And I think where Marvel, they seem to make most of the right steps. I think with the DC in Warner Brothers is making most of the wrong steps, and that's unfortunate. So.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll get something. Maybe they'll reboot the fucking thing. We'll do something better. Who knows?
There's so many things that DC could do. Like, we've talked about the Batman stuff that they can do ad nauseum, like a Court of Owls movie,
or a
fucking long Halloween movie.
The Court of Owls is a fantastic story arc. That's amazing. If they would do that, damn.
That's where I'm like torn, because like if they do just do all this standalone shit, but then they start telling these great stories, man, I'd have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. All we can do is just hope our hands together and pray for those fucking idiots to get their shit straight.
Now I'm a Scott Snyder fan, but please don't do fucking 0 Year for Batman. Please pass that. I hate fucking 0 Year.
Oh god. You didn't like 0 Year? You didn't like
that? Fuck that shit.
Oh shit!
All right, guys, we've been going for almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah. That's we can go off.
We can go ahead and wrap this shit up. We don't do outros on this show, so
shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat.
Chat's been active tonight.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it.
You mean Walter's been active?
Hey, there's other people in there. He's always active.
He's been in here. Deluxe was in here. Vanny was in here.
Giovanni.
Giovanni.
Yeah.
E Prime. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the unbroadcasted link in the little shit here on YouTube.
Yeah, if y'all want to hang out with us.
And I'll go ahead and plaster it everywhere else. Again, thank you guys for supporting and showing up. We're a tiny little show, and we're trying to get a good following. And if you guys have any suggestions, join the Masterpiece Shitpiece Theater Facebook group. We've linked it before, and I'll go ahead and link it again probably later in the week. Or contact me or any of the guys on the panel if you have anything that you think we could do better, or any concerns or anything like that. We're open to criticism and positive feedback. So
that's right. We'll take your constructive criticism. Then we'll just tell you to fuck off and go. I'm sorry.
Speaking of concerns, I know for those of you that are interested in the outcome of the Masterpiece Shitpiece Fantasy Football League, yes, be concerned for Sam's well-being. He is about to take a beating from a one-legged man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He is going to be absolutely trounced this weekend.
It's the one-legged man and the ass-kicking contest.
I'm going to give him the stumping of his life.
Now, well, on that note, Nick, that's probably a good one to end on.
Again, thank you guys for joining us. Catch us on the replay. And again, please, any criticism whatsoever and any positive reinforcement, let us know. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Later.
Love you. Bye.